The sun beat down on the dry Tanzanian soil as I walked. Dust clung to my clothes. I was with the Hadzabe, a tribe practically untouched by modern life. For thousands of years, they've lived as hunter-gatherers. No farms, no supermarkets, just the land. The Hadzabe understand the rhythms of nature in a way most people have forgotten. They know where to find food, water, and shelter using only their knowledge and instinct. Their survival depends on it. I was here to learn from them, to experience their ancient lifestyle. We reached their camp, simple shelters made of branches and leaves. Children played, the men sharpened arrows, and the women gathered wood. Life here was simple, but far from easy. There was an honesty to it, a rawness that was both humbling and exhilarating. Today, we were having beef soup, but this wasn't your grandma's recipe. This was bush cooking at its finest, Hadzabe style, and I was about to get a crash course. The hunt had been successful. One of the men emerged from the bush, a freshly killed zebra slung over his shoulder. The carcass was quickly butchered on the spot, a symphony of sharp knives and practiced hands. Nothing went to waste. Organs, hide, everything was used. I watched, fascinated, as they prepared the beef. There was no refrigeration here, no running water. The meat was fresh, still warm from the animal. It was raw, primal. My stomach churned a little, but my curiosity was stronger. This was a side of food we rarely see in the Western world. We're so used to sanitized, packaged meat in the supermarket. Here, life and death were directly connected to the food they ate. It was a powerful reminder of where our food comes from. A large clay pot was placed over a fire. This was where the magic was going to happen. The air filled with the smell of wood smoke and roasting meat. I watched as the Hadzabe women added chunks of beef to the pot. No measurements, just instinct and experience guided their hands. Water was added, drawn from a nearby watering hole. Then came the other ingredients. Wild roots, dug fresh from the ground, were washed and chopped. Some wild berries, found growing amongst the thorns, were tossed in for a touch of sweetness. Spices? Forget about it. The flavors here were pure, unadulterated. The soup simmered over the open fire for hours, the smoke infusing it with a unique, earthy flavor. No fancy stoves or timers here, just the crackle of the fire and the watchful eyes of the women who tended it. I was struck by the simplicity of it all. No fancy equipment, no complicated recipes, just fresh ingredients, cooked with care and time-honored techniques. It was a far cry from the sterile kitchens I was used to. Section 4. A feast for the senses. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the soup was finally ready. The aroma was incredible, a mix of savory meat, earthy vegetables, and wood smoke. My stomach, despite my earlier hesitation, was now growling with anticipation. We sat around the fire, a communal circle of hungry souls. Bowls, made from hollowed gourds, were passed around. The soup was thick, hearty, and surprisingly flavorful. Each bite was an explosion of textures and tastes, unlike anything I had ever experienced. The beef was tender, infused with the smoky flavor of the fire. The roots added a subtle bitterness, balanced by the sweetness of the berries. It was simple, yet incredibly satisfying. I ate with gusto, my initial apprehension forgotten. Section 5. Sharing is life on the Savannah. As I ate, I observed the Hadzabe. They shared their food freely, laughing and talking amongst themselves. Children ran around, their faces smeared with broth. There was a sense of community, of togetherness, that was palpable. Food, in this culture, wasn't just about sustenance. It was a way of life, a way of connecting with each other and with nature. The act of sharing a meal, cooked over an open fire, forged a bond between them. It was a powerful reminder of the importance of human connection. In that moment, I felt a sense of belonging, despite being an outsider. They had welcomed me into their home, shared their food and their way of life. It was a humbling experience. Section 6. The Primal Connection. As I finished my meal, I couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the Hadzabe, for sharing their culture and cuisine with me. Gratitude for the reminder that food, at its core, is about connection, about sustenance, about life itself. The experience stayed with me long after I left the Tanzanian savannah. It was a reminder of the beauty of simplicity, of the power of community, and the importance of respecting the natural world. And it was damn tasty soup.